Welcome to your Silver Circle. I'm Anita.
And I'm Mary Lee, and today we'd like to share a little bit about how we got here.
So we met many years ago when we were in the same critique group. We are both writers and we were in the same.
Right, murder mysteries.
Yeah, it's always fun to kill people off in fiction. I guess we met each other first through the writing group, not the
Right.
critique group. And you had started that.
And then through the critique group, we share in a critique group what we've written. And we were writing similar things. Some of the others in the critique group write different things. They write romance or thrillers or other things.
We were both writing romance at the time, but we kept killing people off.
So, yeah, some similarities there too. And then we also ended up being neighbors.
Yes. We had moved into a new neighborhood, and then you guys were looking to move, and I was like, oh, the house next door to us is for sale. You should check it out. That didn't exactly work out, but you found a house.
But we liked the neighborhood,
Yeah.
and we found a house that was just a street over. So
Yep.
we are neighbors. Like I can see Anita's house from my patio,
Yes.
and we can.
I just have to walk. So I walk across the street and I go like in between a couple houses and then, through their backyard. And then, oh, voila, I'm at your house, which is nice. We did ask, hey, so we know the people behind you.
Right.
Is it okay if we cut in between your yards? And they were just like, sure. But I don't think they realized that would be happening for 10 years.
Yeah, frequently that was going to be.
Right. It's like, I try not to walk the same path. So I don't wear down their grass.
And so we were both working full time, raising families, writing and critiquing and belonging to writers group. The sort of story of how we began co-writing together is a lengthier thing, but that's maybe a whole separate podcast,
Yeah.
but it's an interesting story too.
You could find out more about that on the Sparkle Abbey. We write as Sparkle Abbey. So if you're really interested, there's like a whole video on the Sparkle Abbey YouTube.
Yes.
You could check that out there.
Yep. So you can find more out about that.
But the short version is
The short version is that we were writing the same thing, same types of things separately. We were getting rejections. We had an opportunity to speak with a New York agent about why we were still getting rejections, although they were better rejections.
They had our name on. You got a phone call.
I got a phone call. And what we were writing was winning contests, that type of thing. It was like almost there.
So close.
And she suggested that we needed a hook, which we thought we had. I had a commitment phobic temp worker.
Yep. And I had a neurotic parrot who doesn't want to read about it.
Seemed like a great hook to us.
Yeah.
But
I'd buy that book.
what she meant was that we needed a theme. We needed is it a book about murder and cooking and knitting or so those types of books, because we were writing what's called a cozy mystery or a gentle mystery, nothing graphic on the page. And so we came up with the idea
after margaritas.
After rejecting quite a few other ideas of writing around rescue pets, because we both had rescue pets. And we thought if you're going to have that kind of a theme, it ought to be something that we cared about.
Something you could write about for a long time. Because we both were, one of the things that we shared is we wanted to be in it for a long time. We wanted a career.
And that's how the Pampered Pets mystery series evolved. It's a national best-selling mystery series that we wrote together. So we were used to working on things together. And at a new juncture in both of our lives, Anita was starting a business. I was retiring. And I think you initiated the conversation.
I did. We do. We have this thing where we always have an idea. And then for some crazy reason, the idea blooms into a big production. So Think of it as a cage, you're going to put on a little play in your backyard, but suddenly now you're going to do this like for the whole neighborhood is how we roll. And so I said, hey, at that time, my husband was getting ready to put in his paperwork to retire from the Army Reserves. And it was a struggle to understand what we were needing to do, what we needed
It's hard
to.
to navigate.
It is. And so I kept researching, Googling, trying to find information on what do you need for retirement for the military. And all I was getting was, here's how much money you would get. Here's kind of insurance you would have, which is great, but there was no other types of information. And so it was very frustrating. So one time it was during the pandemic, so we were Zooming. And I said, hey, I have this idea. Feel free to be a part of it. If you don't want to, I totally get it, but I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to do like a website, like a blog or something where you can have all this research on what you need to know when you're trying to retire. That's not going to be about finances. And you said,
I said, Tim and I've been talking about this for about the last 3 or 4 years because I thought I was going to retire sooner than when I ended up retiring. But that's
you
a
were on
whole
the
other
five,
story.
you were on the 5-year
I was on the
plan
5-year plan a
for
long
like 10
time.
years.
Yeah, yeah. But our idea was similar in that there's so much to navigate and so much you don't know and so many decisions that you have to make. And some of it is around finance, but it's not all about finance.
Right.
And so it seemed like we were on the same wavelength in wanting to share that, maybe wanting to share our own experiences, and sometimes to look to experts that
Right.
know more about those decisions that you have to make or what things you need to look at in
Right.
terms of the future. And so that's how we ended up with your Silver Circle, because we see it really as a community.
Right. Where we can share our experiences. Because one thing that we've learned, or at least I'm still learning, because we are preparing for retirement. My husband did finally get all his paperwork in. The retirement finally came through for the Army Reserves, but he's still civilian career as a nurse, as an ER nurse, which has been challenging. Yeah. But we're still learning everything as we go, and we're still preparing. And so one of the things that we thought is, since it's a journey, let's share everything that we're learning with other people so maybe they can benefit from what we're doing. So even as we're still going through that process, it's okay, here's what we're learning. Let's share it with other people.
And we divided it into, there might be several different topics. One of the topics is retirement and reinvention, because reinvention may happen as a part of retirement,
Right.
or it may happen for other reasons.
As a step, because some people, I think for me, I'm doing I'll be doing like a pre-retirement stage 1 into stage 2. So my husband's going to retire, so I'll cut back on what I'm doing before I fully retire. And I think reinvention for you guys, because for your husband,
So he had retired and has gotten involved in new projects, and I was looking at retiring. And so
and then
there,
I dragged you into this.
yeah,
But you didn't come kicking and screaming. You're
I
like,
d-
yeah,
I
I'm already
didn't.
ahead of you by a couple of years. Catch up, girl.
I didn't. I really do think that there's a lot to be shared. And one of the things that, as we looked around for information, it was clear that nobody was really doing this. Most of the websites or podcasts were about financial planning. And
Right.
while that's important, there's a whole lot more to it than just the financial planning. So that will be perhaps some of the information we share or the experts that we bring onto to the podcast. Also, there's home and family things around that. And some of that, for me, some of the topics are getting to projects that I couldn't get to when I was working 40, 50 hours a week, decluttering or sorting, that sort of thing. Also, travel will be a piece of it, because that's something that we both enjoy, and we enjoy doing together. And so that will be one of the topics. Which one am I missing?
Reinvention, family, second acts. There's a couple more. They're on the website.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the point just is that how we got here was an interest in the broader topics of retirement, and also to bring you the things that you're interested in.
Right.
So that could vary. We have some ideas, and
Health and fitness. Duh.
Health and fitness, that's it.
That's what her husband's doing now, by the way.
That's it. Because that's really important.
It is. Because that's something that we really learned, especially with him really getting involved in that, is its longevity.
Yes. Yes. And not just increasing how long you can live, but how long you can live in good shape, how long you can live a healthy life,
active.
and enjoy that, and get to travel and do things that you're interested in.
Yeah. We've enjoyed talking with you and sharing our story and how we've got started. Hopefully you are interested and you want to come along for the journey, join us on this ride and adventure, and check out further episodes.
If you have a topic that you'd like us to cover, or if you have a question for us, share your thoughts by dropping them into the comments here or visiting our website. You can contact us through our website, which is yoursilvercircle.com.
Don't forget to subscribe just by clicking the button below. And then anytime we upload a new video, you'll be notified that way. And if you go to our website, you can sign up for our newsletter. It won't be anything where we're spamming your mailbox with a whole lot of stuff, because we're still enjoying what we're doing. And the last thing we want to do is write a bunch of newsletters. But we do want to share with you and maybe some things that we've learned that we aren't sharing on the podcast.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
And it's a wrap.
We'll see you soon. Bye.